Hi there, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's walk and talk is about letting go of dreams and grieving losses. I am walking along the West Side Highway on Vashon Island, and this area of the island has particular significance to me. My first husband and I owned a house on 5 acres just up the road here, where both of my children were born. It took me a long time in grieving that loss to lose some of the charge. I mean, I'm feeling glimmers right now as I'm walking up towards where it is. There's been a lot of trees growing since then, because this was 1985 when we bought it. 1999 when it got sold because of the divorce. And I have always sort of fantasized winning the lottery and being able to buy it back. Bought it for $75,000, put another $75,000 into remodeling it in 1985. It's probably worth $1 million now. The other thing that's going on, though, that I have shared before, is that I am planning to retire in Spain. I'm still holding the vision that this is now going to happen in January. Lots of things happened during the trip, which I'm still mumbling around about. Details about that are in flux, but I still intend to move to Spain, and therefore I have found myself, as I'm driving around the island here, is saying goodbye. We moved here in 1985. I started coming to the island I think in 84. My mystery school had a retreat here that I took my early clairvoyant training at. So many years of history. And for someone who grew up moving every 2 to 5 years to different countries, it was really significant to be here this long a time. And also that particular house I was in for 10 years, which was the longest I'd ever lived anywhere. Both my children, as I said, were born there. Their afterbirths are buried there. Lots of pets were buried there, lots of history. I'm walking along now, and this is part of my walking along and feeling the release of this place. Now, when I left that house, I moved to a cabin on the beach because it was the only thing I could afford at the time. And I remember I had just come back from Findhorn, and I knew about being a steward of nature. And I had actually worked on this 5 acres of land we're coming up to. I had co-created a garden with nature. I used Paralandra techniques. And so I felt like I was a steward of this land. So I was standing on the beach at this cabin and was talking to nature. And the response I got was that you can be a steward of the whole planet. You're not limited to land that you own, which is pretty good because I haven't really owned anything since. Actually, my second husband and I owned a house for about 7 years on just a 3/4 of an acre, I think it was. So that went by the wayside as well. So I've had losses, and this island represents for me many years of experience and learning, and I'm so grateful for being here. It was a really good manifestation. It feels like we're all collectively going through massive changes and massive release of things, breakdowns, breakthroughs, losses, the dreams that we've had or the visions that we've had. Really, it's because it's opening up to something much bigger, and we can't possibly imagine what that is yet. It's where it really sucks. Here we are, great giant consciousness. We've created this whole hologram, yet when we're in the physical form, we can barely see down the road for all the fog in our heads, the smears on our glasses. We can't fully see what we're driving towards in this road trip through life. Another thing comes to mind is that I decided I have to live to be at least 107, maybe it's 110. My baby granddaughter projected to me that I had to live till she was 47. It might be 113. Anyway, I better keep walking and exercising. So I realized some time ago that if I was intending to live for a long time, I had to get used to loss. I had to find some way of getting used to loss, people dying, things changing. I haven't yet perfected it. It's been pretty shocking recently because there's been people in my age range that have passed away, or I learned people that I knew have died. It's been kind of a interesting big thing. But you know, we get in and out of the pool when our swim time is over. So we can paddle about, splash about, and we don't need to get out of the pool till we want to. All right, here I am coming up to the property next to the property that I used to own, I think. Oh wait, maybe this is the property below the property I used to own. Shoot. I'll see how far I can go and then I'll turn around and come back. Oh yeah. Oh, they blocked off the road so I couldn't drive up there also. Interesting. It's very open on the trees have really grown tall, but it doesn't have a decent view anymore either. Had a wonderful view of the mountains and the water. As I turn around and see what I can see. If I can't see anything, that's fine too. I remember after we bought the house, we had an opportunity to buy this few acres. I can't remember how many acres it is, for $10,000. But we didn't feel like we could afford it at the time because we bought that house for $75 and got a rehab loan for another $75, and $150 feel like a whole lot. And interest rates were high then too. So, interesting thoughts as I walk away. I'm not going to walk up the trail to look at it. I am in the process of letting go. So what are you in the process of letting go? What are you releasing? If you release it as consciousness, as greater consciousness, how would that be easier for you? Because the other thing is, nothing is ever really gone. You know, time is like lasagna. Everything in the past and everything in the future is going on all the time. We're like in a video game where all possibilities are running at once. So you haven't really lost anybody because they still exist as consciousness. You haven't really lost anything because it still exists within your past. It's still very real. Think about that. See if that is useful for you. And if you've had an experience like that or had any revelations, please leave me a comment below. I'd love to read your comments. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. Click the thumbs up, the heart button, like, share, subscribe, and all those things. Tell the algorithm to spread this far and wide and get this out to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. And I will see you next week in another Walk Talk.